going to live off nature's land. Fighting soldiers from the sky. He has died for those oppressed, leaving her this last request. Put silver wings on my son's chest.
Mama, I'm a criminal. Mama, I'm a criminal. Mama, I'm a criminal.
It doesn't even matter. I had to fall.
And I just did this last year. This is the update. People are not carrying their cross. You have to understand that we came here to suffer. We came here to do it together. It's the only way we're going to achieve what we're setting out to do in our mind, our body, and our soul.
In order to, believe in this false system of injustice. And that's the foundation of everything we got going on today. Like, we instantly should be straightening out problems like this. Like, why aren't we wrapping up the problems in the world, like homelessness and hunger and kids that are dying for no reason and the poisons that they push. Like, why aren't we just wrapping up these problems? We're not wrapping up these problems because in our back pocket, put away, is our courage, our passion, all of our energy, our power, and our will and desire to do anything about it. That's the history of humanity. Right? It's a great card. If you don't know what the Divine Feminine is, please look it up. The Sacred Divine Feminine is the characteristics of compassion, intuition, creativity, all the things that our educational system stifles right now, right? And that's what's been going on recently in our society. We've stunted the youth and prevented them from being able to create, right? Have imagination, have creativity. That's what's been going on. And we lock away the Divine Feminine and throw it away. That's what they, that's what they do. That's it.
All right, so
we're going to do a little recap here.
You guys got to know what's going on with this episode.
First card was
watching
the
the first
humanity, the four
card
pentacles,
flip.
our selfishness, how we're acting, materialism is controlling everything, and we're just acting out of fear, right? So if we had this upright, our crown chakra would be shining, and our heart chakra would be the source of what he's clutching, the source of where all things come from, our heart chakra. Right, so then the next card we have is the direct influence, which was the sun. Right? When you shine light, love, and truth on a situation, it's going to change it, sometimes dramatically. Then we have this next card here, which is the goal or destiny, right? Which is the 5 levels of consciousness, the 5 bodies, the 5 senses, us moving through all that, understanding that we can't do it alone, we must suffer with others. And then we have our pristine white, which is our end game, right? Next we have distant past, the influences, right? This was the 6 of Pentacles, right? Reversed, charity going awry, government systems, all the social systems, educational systems, finance, everything that's in place, healthcare, all that stuff going awry. Justice is upside down. Our will is in the pocket, right? We're getting ready to pull that out, though, guys. You ready? So we understand that the missing element that we're missing is Divine Feminine, right? We're using too much logic, too much reason, too much masculinity, not enough intuition, not enough creativity, not enough love, care, right? And that's our inner cross and our outer cross, all pentacles, all things of creation that have gotten us, jammed up. We're jammed up. Our souls are jammed up, right? But here's the best part, right? And this is the 6. This is this is the 6, card 6, right? So this card, right, is our future influence, right? And this is our choice. This is the choice we have within ourselves, okay? To carry our cross, understand its origins, right?
So, here we are. We're in the second updated reading for the tarot card reading for humanity by St. John. And if you guys have been following along and you watched the first domestic tarot is for 2022, the first time I did this, you'll know that this is the inner cross here, selfishness versus the influence of the sun and light and truth and everything that radiates, natural law, all that good stuff, love. And then you have, the goal and destiny, the distant past influences, and then the immediate influences, not immediate influence, but immediate, factors. So it says all that in the layout for the Celtic Cross reading, and that's what I gave for that, that particular reading. Now, this style reading I did a little different. This was body, mind, soul, to keep it simple, but it's more complex than that. It's materiality, the third dimension, could be the planet itself, but definitely our interaction with the third realm, the third dimension, body. And then mind is mentalism, the collective, the consciousness of individuals and humanity. And then the third card that I pulled was the card for soul. So that could be spirituality, that could be soul of the earth, it could be soul of humanity, could be higher consciousness, higher elevations or ascension, things along those lines. So we're going to, we're going to let me finish the definition of this, because this card is the card that was dealt first, and it was dealt in reversed. So we're going to talk about that and what that means. But I'm going to let me explain it how I explained it the first time around, because it's just like,
right, carry our cross and move on to what needs to be done next, right? So here we are, we're at our 7 of Wands, right? You got to understand that the 6 of Wands, right? The guy he had just won the match, and he was cheered, and he's the victor, and he has all the good things. So we understand that we've gotten through all this stuff, and now we're the victor. It's about victory, but it's about more than victory. That's right. Even the Bible talks about that.
Yeah, it does.
We're more than victorious. What does that mean? Well, this is what it comes down to. We're more than victorious. You got to think about 7 being the 7 chakras, having them in alignment, being on point. You got to think about the 7 days of the week. You got to do this all the time. It's not something that's just going to be a one-time thing and be done. This is going to be constant. We have to carry this cross, and we have to move forward, right? Seizing the day, seizing projects and ideas. The 7 of Wands, right? Up, strong, valor, determination. It's an action card. Notice stuff is growing off the wand, right? You see it on the wand here. Right?
All the things you've done up to this point,
offshoots,
the research,
and
the knowledge,
the different, things that come,
the activities, the network,
being in a position of, prominence, being in a position of
knowledge.
Now that you've carried your cross and you know what you need to work on as an individual, right? Now it's the 7 of Wands. That's our future influence. It stands for creativity, excitement. But
I'm willing to bet that people that have this upright and carry their cross in 2023, they are growing much more growth on their wands, and it's becoming more for them. Those that are living this way, it's a direct result of weariness, maybe wrong team players, lack of teamwork, the calm before the storm, like peace, frustration, maybe past defeats, thinking about how we lost so many times, folding on your beliefs, your courage, giving up, admitting defeat, actually saying it out loud, quit, surrender, weak, timid, lack of control, power, burnout, compromise, share territory. So this is reversed, and there's actually some pretty good suggestions in that last one, like learn to share your territory, learn to compromise better, maintain control by keeping a balance, do not admit defeat because you are more than victorious, try not to be overbearing, try not to control others, do not make expectations of others. So that's the first card, man, and I just wanted to pop with that, get that as the root of how we're proceeding here, which is consciousness, all the things relative to thoughts and patterns, things of that nature. I'm going to let some other people explain the definition just a little bit better than me. I think that some people have better definitions than me, so we're going to do that.
Here, the big story about this is this. So this could be the 3 aspects of your intellect, your mind, the part who thinks and plans the story, your heart, the one who gets orientated around what it's really all about, what the real purpose and the mission is all about, and your physical body who actually does the shit that you need to do. Okay, so, and this is giving importance to the actual action factor. This is the Suit of Pentacles after all, and so it's more all about what we do with our body and how we work with our body. So it's giving more importance to the worker than the planner or the guy who's paying for it.
Yeah.
Right?
So
this is in a way this.
So you have a carpenter, and he's building the cathedral, and you've got they're the architects that are telling him what to do. Notice he's standing on a footstool. Okay, pentacles, as I said in the major reading, pentacles are pieces of creation, things that are within creation. They have to be manifested reality. So that's what pentacles are. And when we've got the 3 going on here, listen to what these people say. It's pretty amazing.
This is the producer, the director, and the actor in the movie. This is, what else is this? This would be the
mind.
This would be the architect. This would be the guy who pays for the architect and pays for the worker and the worker. So this is the guy's house. This is the architect, and this is the actual guy who's going to build it for him.
And it's upside down. It's in reverse. So here we go.
Why? Because sometimes that which is least appreciated and that which is needs to be given more importance too. So in this story, when it's upside down, there is a little bit of conflict here. There's something that we're not seeing. There's a communication that we're not willing to make, maybe in between ourselves. I relate to this right now. For me right now, this is me asking, because when it's upside down, these two planets, these two guys are higher than this guy all of a sudden because it's upside down. So maybe what I need to focus on, and this is kind of a subtle message for me, is to maybe pay a little bit more attention to how I can plan things and structure things and give a little bit of order to my life in order so that when I actually get around to doing things, it can be more effective. There are other stories here too. So when this is reversed, there's this kind of maybe a resistance to collaborate in some way. There's maybe a desire to want to do it on your own. And this can come from, wanting to be self-important and thinking that I'm the only one who can do it properly, so I'm going to do it all type thing.
Going back to this again.
Getting together with other people, collaborating and asking for guidance sometimes, getting some coaching in some ways, that you're inviting other people's gift set or skill set into your life, and in order to enrich your own skills, which fundamentally is like so valuable, it's incredible. I think I suffer from wanting to do things on my own too. This could be another reason that it's upside down for me as well. But sometimes this card being upside down is about saying, hey, it's time to just get on and do shit, and you do the stuff you need to know. Don't rely on anybody else for doing it.
Get off your ass and do it.
That's the message when it's upside down. I would say more often than not, there's this resistance to collaborate in some way, and there could have been a pain or a trauma in the past that's actually stopped you from feeling like you want to dive in and collaborate. I mean, I can relate to that too. In the fact that sometimes I've collaborated on other people's projects and found that I haven't been appreciated at all for what I've done. Right? And I can see that the part of this is not a victim mentality, because part of this is me not also appreciating what I've done, or me not giving importance to what I've done. I mean, I've been that builder, I've been that guy who built houses for other people, and inside of me there was all this energy as I don't want to be doing this, I don't give importance to this job, I want to be doing something else, I want to be I was the planner too, but I don't want to even be the planner, I want to be doing a different work. Maybe this is the work that I want to do, and I can relate to this resistance to actually to join to work hand in hand in collaboration with somebody else, because I have a tendency to maybe lose myself in this situation and put other people's needs before my own, and then forget about, and end up doing the shitty job or the job of doing the building, which I don't really want to do, instead of doing something which I would really, which really inspires me and represents me connecting to my heart. So staying connected to your heart, stay connected to that intellect that can guide you, can also plan your story and make you more effective, and your actions more positive and more
all right, so then there's one more. Hold on, let's get
this. If we're looking for advice or expertise, we need to look inward. This is not actually the time to go searching for other people and their perspectives. We have to really maintain our focus inwardly to solve these problems, to do this work. It also suggests that, we are still in the middle of that self-focused work. We're in the middle of engaging this momentum. We're in the middle of engaging this piece of work, and the problem solving needs to be ours. What occurs to me is when we're doing all this inner work, our mind can get tricky and can start making us doubt ourselves. We begin to wonder if we're caught in our own delusion. Like, are we making sense? What other people think about this? Your mind begins to jump ahead and says,
So I'm not gonna burn you out with it, but the gist of this card is just very simple, that we're not working together, and when we do, we want to control too much. Turn it upside down, guys. Get the collaborations right, get the cooperations right, get the message out correctly, and it's a great card, man, for mental. And then we're on the last card of this reading, with the two supplemental cards that come behind that. The last card of this reading is the Eight of Cups reversed. So I'm gonna let this woman here. She has a website called, it's a YouTube channel called Contemporary Tarot. I've watched quite a bit of her stuff in the past, but I think out of the people that I've watched for this video, I think that this would probably be a good explanation.
This is leaving, moving on. This can represent feeling emotionally or physically depleted.
Remember, this is your soul,
moving away from previously held values or beliefs. A need for something more or different, but feeling in the dark about what it is you seek. Moving away from a relationship, even though it might still have an emotional hold over you.
Now remember, we're talking humanity, so the relationship
dissatisfaction,
is what? The system, right?
withdrawing, and this might also indicate simply feeling hungover and depleted by overindulging or overgiving. The Eight of Cups, best course of action. Now might be the time to depart or leave a no longer satisfying situation. It might just be time to move on. Move away from unhealthy, depleting behaviors. Withdraw. Stop offering guidance or support when it isn't going to be accepted anyway. Begin the journey towards spiritual fulfillment. Leave behind things that are not fulfilling or replenishing to you.
That's right.
Choose to replenish yourself. The Eight of Cups reversed. This represents someone not departing a situation. Even though it might be somewhat unsatisfying, there still is something there that you can
Still
benefit
cooperating with the
from
system.
accessing.
Your soul's in the balance.
This might be a refusal to accept that something has ended. It can indicate using drugs or alcohol to fill an emotional void. It can be
People do
someone
that,
choosing
right?
to
You know
help
about
others
that.
heal. It can also just mean you're moving forward even though you're unsure of where you're headed. The Eight of Cups reverse, best course of action. Explore in your life what is no longer satisfying to you and what is giving you
Involution,
something,
not
emotionally
evolution,
especially.
right?
Hang on a little longer. Right now might not be the time to depart a situation or relationship. You may be engaged as a helper to another who is healing or recovering from being emotionally or physically overextended.
The people around you,
So
the
again,
world
now
around
is not the time to depart, but that time might be coming.
you. Yeah.
So thanks for visiting Contemporary Tarot. If this helped,
Yes, she's pretty good. Okay, so the last two cards were both upright. Okay, and I want you guys to understand that when I do a reading, I like to pull for body, mind, soul. That's how I pull for most people that I encounter in this world because I feel most comfortable explaining those topics. The Celtic reading was very different for me, and I highly suggest you guys go back and watch that if you have not watched that. But it does give a lot of insight to what we're talking about in this updated reading for the year 2023. This was the card that I pulled for strength, and it's the Two of Wands, and it's upright, and it's a beautiful card. There's a couple of really good explanations of what this card means. Okay, this woman here,
this session we're
I
going to be
think,
looking at the Two of
does it best.
I find this to be an unexpectedly complex card. On the card, on the face of it, you have the image of a person in a castle holding on to one wand and with the world in their hands. And they seem very secure and very set in their place, and they are. They literally do have the world in their hands. All is good on the home front. But wands are the biggest action suit, so there's tension. While you hold the world in your hand, the other hand holds a project or something that you want to accomplish.
Exactly.
You may have an idea which you want to implement in the greater world, but right now we're in the planning process. As you see outside the walls of the castle, there are multiple terrains, new cities, new lands to conquer, but right now you remain in the castle.
Right.
You may be feeling that you have everything you need right now, it's all in the palm of your hand, or you may desire to venture forth into the world, but you are remained planted at home. And with this card, always keep in mind that while you have one hand on one iron in the fire and the world in your hand, there might be a project behind you that you don't have time to attend to, and there can be a feeling of being a bit hemmed in, potentially. So let's keep that in mind.
Maybe isolation, things like that. But the thing that I found most interesting was this woman when she was breaking down this card. Her name is Ellen Goldberg, and she actually referred to the Tree of Life, the Kabbalah tree, and she lands this card as a 2 because that's what it is a 2 of Wands, which goes under wisdom, which is right above crown. So like this is the strength that we have within us. I'm gonna let her play a little bit so you can hear her.
Do not actually manifest in events in life. They're more.
It's on Howlcast.
Giant
It's not bad. I would check into
Twos are the
Howlcast for a
first
lot of
time
different things.
That each of the suits is going to show itself in a life situation. The name of the number 2 is duplication, and it comes from the old root meaning to fold, so that something exactly replicates each other. The 2s are the first time that the suit is being reflected back to the Godhead, and so all the 2s are a card of harmony, and all the 2s are the element in their purest form and highest
Strength,
form.
guys. This is our strength.
The 2 of Wands is called the Lord of Dominion. It has an astrological attribution, as every one of the small cards does, except the aces, which are the elements themselves. The 2 of Wands is Mars in Aries. What a way to start the minor arcana. A fiery suit of wands with a fiery planet in a fiery sign of the zodiac. And its name is the Lord of Dominion.
Come on, y'all.
You see here a man at the top of the world, standing on the roof of his castle with the world in his hands, surveying a vast amount of land that he oversees. When we see what the wands would like to show us in their highest form is that they would like us to have a sense of self, pride and authority. This is what the wands want to give us. Just like this card. On the higher polarity, it is happy dominion, peace between ruler and ruled, a sense of self-respect and self-control, and treating each creature that you come upon as something special unto itself. On the lower polarity, it's not happy dominion, it's ruthlessness. It's poor management.
But it's
no
not
self-control.
reversed, so we're good. This is our
Therefore,
strength, guys.
see that this man has achieved this through spiritual means. Notice the standard on his castle parapet. It's roses and lilies in a cross. This is no ordinary man. This is a Knight of the Rose Cross.
Ellen Goldberg. Again, she's talking about the confirmation card that I pulled, which confirmed that I was reading this card for the world. The world card. I mean, it doesn't get any simpler than that, right? Are you ready? Here we go.
Hello, I'm Ellen Goldberg, and I welcome you on behalf of the School of Oracles to this moment of tarot. In this segment, we're going to look at the World card, the final card in the entire Major Arcana. How wonderful it is to see the World Dancer here. She seems to have no reason other than pure being, as she dances lighter than air. So it's a surprise to find out that she is ruled by the planet Saturn, the heaviest earthly planet of karma. This is to be interpreted that spirit is everywhere, and even the heaviest, most dense material existence is filled with spirit. Her Hebrew letter is Tav, T-A-V, which means mark of God. This is the divine as the heavenly androgyne. For this card, this being, is both masculine and feminine equally. You do not see her male sexual organs because they are covered by the scarf. Now, we already know that the tarot is not shy. We have seen completely naked men in the Lover's card and elsewhere in the tarot. Why are they covered here and we only see her feminine nature? For two reasons. One is that the actual creative urge at the very heart of creation is a mystery. The other is that the universe is slightly predominantly feminine. And within ourselves, in both men and women, it is the feminine aspect, the receptive side, that is most open to the true self. But she is lighter than air. One foot is down, which shows the connection to earth. The other foot is up, which shows the soul's release. We have seen the great Hindu god Shiva, who is also called the dancer, who dances
Just
in
like
the heart
this
cave,
photo, actually.
in this very same pose in ancient statues. You'll notice that the heavenly androgyne is dancing within a wreath. This wreath is called a mandorla, and if we had two circles that intersected, they would form that oval in their intersection. So it is a symbol of the union of opposites, and it's also a doorway, like a womb, because the heavenly androgyne is going to be reborn as the Fool as a new cycle is about to start. In the four corners of the cards, just as we've seen them in the Wheel of Fortune, we see the four fixed signs of the zodiac, except here often the bull, in many versions of this card, looks down towards earth and manifestation. The two rods in her hands are not necessarily magic wands. They are the rods of involution and evolution, which are constantly taking place.
Yes. The yin to
This
the
is
yang,
called,
the
their Hebrew letter
duality,
is Tav,
polar opposites.
the mark of God, and it is the administrative intelligence. When we come to this card, we are dropping the personality and become a helper, a part of the cosmic government, so that we take care of our world, our universe. When this card
Take care of
appears for
each
you
other,
in its
take care of the
higher
animals.
polarity, you're taking part in helping the world to go forward. You have achieved cosmic consciousness. This is the final stage of spiritual unfoldment, nirvana, cosmic consciousness. All feelings of separateness are gone forever. When you receive this card on the higher polarity, whatever you are doing is crowned with success, and you are living in the here and now, just as she does.
I want to thank you guys for joining me. As usual, this was not easy to do. There's a lot of different ways I could have done this. But the one thing that I have felt with this reading over even the last reading, I felt like this charge of electricity with it. But with this particular reading, it doesn't really feel worldly. And I guess that's because not a lot of people are watching this content. But with that being said, I really feel as though maybe it's only meant for the viewer. Those that are viewing it. I'm going to close this video out with the actual footage of me flipping the cards this year. Now, I didn't do that last year. But this year I felt like I was inspired by some other content creators. And I wanted to show what it feels like, what it felt like. The roots from me. The reason why I do it. There's nothing to gain here for me personally. Except for maybe the enlightenment of others to turn more for involution, which would create the proper evolution that our species needs to go through. Well, I wish you love. I wish you freedom. I wish you the truth. And stay tuned, because this is released simultaneously with my latest Recovery House episode, where we have an update going on with people that were involved with housing. I did take a little hiatus. I had some mental health issues, and I had a big transition go on in my life. But the work must continue. And I want to thank my new sponsor, Uncle Bob's. You can see he's got a little ad we put up here. But yeah, don't give up, guys. It's getting close. Notice that all the topics are like, the duality is like so extreme. It's like so far this way versus so far that way, and it's morality right in the middle. So stick with your guns, like pardon the pun, but stick with your intuition, man, of what's right and what's wrong in most situations. Act accordingly. Reverse that card, man. It's important that you reverse the Seven of Wands and keep it so that it's in balance, that we're defending that position. Well, anyway, thanks for watching.
Happy New Year's, everybody. What are you going to do different this year? That's all I want to know.
Just wishing you all a Happy New Year. Stay safe. Stay free in 2023, y'all. Stay free in 2023. Y'all have a safe and Happy New Year. Stay warm.
Set up from the ground up, we lock shit. Next are gonna be first. And the enemy is one time. I ain't gotta tell you, yo, it's right in front of your eye.
mind, soul for humanity. Body, mind, soul. You have to heal, man. You need truth, you need awareness, you need healing, you need recovery, you need action.
They all, I think they all need spiritual freedom.
There it is.
Spiritual and mental freedom.
They launched that thing, bro. It's awesome.
Most of these cats you see out here, they'll follow the law before they follow what's right. They don't want to get in trouble. They're fear. We need to lose our fear. Fear is a good thing. Let you know you're alive.
That's right. Fear knows you're heading. When you feel fear, that's how you know you're heading in the right direction.
If you notice, the more fear you feel, I believe that's it's drawing you to it.
Yeah. But it's how we react too, right?
Yeah, the more scared you are, the quicker you go.
Look, I'm just saying, man. The last card is spirituality, like the spirituality of humanity, like the spirit, the soul, earth. This year, man, it's just advice. That's all it is. That's all these cards are going to be is advice, man. Sell what you can't control. You can't control it if you don't know how to deal with it.
You don't own your soul anyway. The Father owns your soul. He's the one that made you. If I make it school, it's my fucking school, right?
It's like they put it right in front of our faces.
That volcanic rock right there is probably what drew me to this location. Because I was right on that bench right there. That's where I did last year's reading.
And in the research labs of large companies. An example is the transistor developed at Bell Labs. One of the last great inventors is Edwin Howard Armstrong, a familiar name to one interested in the development. For background, let's read this news report found on page 70 out of the pocket October 30th, 1967 Howard Armstrong, a man who had an unshakable belief in what he was doing. Howard Armstrong's legacy was 21 losses. His wife and friends determined to carry on the battle.
And as above, so below. Here in the city we glow. I blow a smoke, bring up to heaven and it glow. I blow a smoke, bring up to heaven and it makes a halo.
That's where I did it, Bobby. Right in front of this hotel. Daytona, New Year's Eve.
Don't hate us because you hate us. Do what I did to get here.
Who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. This is it. This is where I'm going to do it.
For those that don't know,
Trying to make his way home, back up to heaven all alone.
That's where we all live.
Nobody calling on the phone, except for the Pope maybe in Rome.
hashila ahiton wayan kelo hey. Cheki ayo, ahiton wayan kelo hey. Wazia takia etuayo nitun kashila ahituayan kelo hey. Cheki ayo, ahituayan kelo hey. We ohia patakia etuayo nitun hashila ahituayan kelo hey. Cheki ayo, ahituayan kelo hey. Ito kagatakia etuayo nitun kashila ahituayan kelo hey. Cheki ayo, ahituayan kelo hey. Wankatakia etuayo wakantanka hechia heyan kelo hey. Cheki ayo, ahituayan kelo hey. Makatakia